everyone. I'm really excited because look who stumbled into my studio, Jan Krentz.
Hi.
Hi. I am so excited because she has agreed to be in here for a couple days.
Yeah.
And Jan is going to share a ton of tricks and tips. Now, how long have you been quilting?
Oh, I started quilting in the late 60s. I was a child. I was probably 10 or 12 when I started quilting, and started teaching in the early 1980s. Yeah.
And truly, she's a phenomenal teacher. She even got Teacher of the Year, and that is a big deal, folks, a really big deal.
I love quilters.
Yeah, she does.
I love making quilts.
And she has great tips and tricks, and truly, you and I feel the same way about learning new stuff.
We want to fill your technique toolbox.
That's right.
So we're going to bring you some basics, just some ideas about what you can do with what you got. And techniques, tools, tips, things you might need in your toolbox for the future.
So what do you want to start with?
Let's start with rulers, Alex. We have a secret. Actually, my demand. We're going to show you Alex's ruler drawer because so many of my students tell me, holy cow, I have so many rulers, I can't believe it. Well, you think we teachers don't have a lot of rulers? We just want to show you a peek at Alex's ruler drawer. Now, she has one drawer, but I know she has bigger rulers other places. I have two drawers like this, and I have rulers in racks at my house. So it's just amazing how many tools that we can acquire over the years. But I want to show you some tips about rulers in case you were wondering. Some of us started quilting before there was rotary cutting equipment. You new quilters have no idea how blessed you are to have this wonderful array of tools and equipment to use. It can get pretty confusing, but let's take a quick look here. We used to, believe it or not, use a drafting ruler, and we'd grab pencils or permanent markers, and we hoarded cardboard from different packaging. We also purchased sheets of template plastic. Everything we did was with these tools. We would trace around a shape, whether it was a coin or a coffee cup or a cereal bowl, or we would make patterns from leaves in the yard, cut them out with ordinary scissors, and that's how we did our work. Whenever we were cutting fabric, we would simply, to get strips or squares, we would snip along the edge of the selvage and just tear from corner to corner. Now, if you've ever torn fabric, you know that the edge gets rather frayed and a little distorted. Initially, we had rotary cutting tools like this, came on a straight handle, and the rulers were very simple. We had the engineer's rulers, which are real thin plastic, and the manufacturers realized if you were cutting with a razor blade type tool, you needed to have a thicker plexiglass. So the first cutting tools we had were plain strips of plastic. There was a 2-inch, a 2 1/4, a 2 1/2, a 2 3/4, and we would buy all of these stacks of plexiglass, and then they had holes drilled in the end. You were something else if you owned a set of those, and your friends would come to your house to borrow them. Eventually, people realized how handy these tools were, and the companies started producing ruler sets. Well, now we have so many ruler sets available, it can be confusing. You want to find a company that you enjoy their product, and you want to start collecting rulers that are all from the same manufacturer. So here are some examples of different ruler sets that we have right here at our disposal. The key element here is to find rulers that have common grid lines. You want the lines to be very fine. I don't know if you can see the difference between some of the ruler lines that we have, but your eye is going to get real practiced at viewing the tools that you use most often. If you're doing a lot of precision work, you want very fine lines instead of heavier lines. If you have visual difficulty, it's going to be easier for you to find a heavy solid line. So you need to find the tools that are the easiest for you to use. Next, we're going to talk about different ruler techniques where you can add some stability to your ruler, and then other tricks to make your rulers more useful.